What's up, Les Carpenter? How you doing, man? Chilling and relaxing. You feeling all right today? Can you hear me okay? Very nice, man. Very cool. Hi, Carrie. Just a little. I don't say. My man has been calling me right about the time I started my live every day, and I love him. I love him to death, but we're cool. Oh, goodness. What are you guys up to? Thank you for all your help. It came out epic. Hell yes, dude. I got to work some more on the plane blade. I kind of jumped ahead a little bit, and I feel kind of bad. But we most definitely got some work in. It's pretty rough still, but we still got some dressing up to do. That sucker is most definitely sharp enough. It is doing the thing. Hope everybody's having a good one. It is from the brake rotor. It is. That came smooth out of, well, I got the leftover piece. That way I don't have to lug up the whole thing. What's up, Dan? I cut part of the brake shoe off, the brake rotor off right here. And that means I still got a whole ton of mild steel I can mess with and make a few other tools and stuff. Which would be awesome. It's a rough day, so I'm kind of low energy. I'm thinking I might grab me a log, since I have a log. Let's just bring this log in as a pretty good seat. I might just take me a sit down today. Relax a little bit. Well, the idea was pretty genius. It wasn't me. Oh, that's kind of nice. Whew. What a day. What a day. Hope everybody's having a pretty good one. I'm certainly trying. I look like I've got a big ass log up my butt. Zaco says, question for you, Mike. As you know about me, I do electronics work all the time. I need some Allen wrenches that are ESD safe, but won't strip easy. Well, I would say the best thing for us to do is we need to look for a material on the hierarchy of elements that is probably non-magnetic and gets us at least in the range of hardened steel. So let's take a peek. I just got back from a physical therapy appointment and now cleaning up and baking a cake. I want some cake. Cake sounds awesome. For those of you that don't know, ESD is electrostatic discharge. Because he's working with very sensitive material, he has to make sure that static doesn't become a factor in what he's doing. Two seconds. Yeah, I know you would if you could. Okay. So, Rocco, talk to me. Do you have a way to keep these things ESD shrouded? Do you have any way to keep them electrostatically isolated from everything? Maybe an enclosure or a container or something? Because then I would suggest maybe something like chrome moly, but something with a shroud, like electricians usually use. Hey, Norm. Hey, Zero One. Wait, Zero 10101. I invite you to the religion of Islam. Well, thank you for that. We'll see if somebody wants to take you up on it. Now, it's kind of backwards because WeHa and OEL and all those companies will do electrostatically insulated, like Jameson will make some insulated Allen wrenches, and they're usually for the opposite purpose. They're trying to protect the user from getting electrocuted by the Allen wrench. But I'm sure it would probably, if you could keep them in an electrostatic environment, like degauss them, keep them in a degauss container, then that same insulation would keep you from transferring anything into the Allen wrench when you picked it up. That'd probably be where I'd start. I mean, unless you got really deep into it, I'm sure they probably sell some really high dollar ones. Hold on a minute. Yeah, and the insulated hex keys that WeHa offers, they're like about $10 a piece. Do you need a whole set, or do you need just a certain standard size? Like, are you just going to use a universal fastener throughout your whole PCB, or are we going to be all over the place with it? Because when you think about that, there's still a lot of other things we've got to consider, like your got a few bit every time they strip. Crazy, I'll screw something into plastic and they'll slip the wrench. What's the material of the fasteners that you're tightening? Because if you can get something electrostatically neutral there, like if you're using, well, aluminum, like if you had aluminum screws, that those would be prone to skip. It just depends on how much torque you're going to load on it, you know? I can't see with electronics like PCB boards, I can't see you having to torque them down very hard at all. Loctite is definitely your damn friend. Or even if you don't want to resort to Loctite, you could always CA glue them in place. If you're worried about, like, if you're torquing hard enough on them to make sure that they don't come out, then you could CA glue them in place. You could ribbon epoxy or Loctite. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, every time I dismantle anything with electronic PCBs in it, they're almost always just resorting to Loctite to make sure that they stay. I wonder, is Loctite conductive? So we non-conductive Loctite, because they do sell some that is. Loctite 8142B is non-conductive. 3217 is non-conductive. It cures by UV. I don't know how you're setting the boards in, but that might be an option. I would. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. 3611 is non-conductive. That'll help quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that the solve for the torque issue to get the PCB to stay in place isn't necessarily the torque load on the fastener itself as much as it is getting it to stay with a chemical adhesive like Loctite. That's what I do. Hope that answers the question. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Dan. Hey, Norm. Good to see you. I am endeavoring to have a pretty chill day. Kevin says, morning. Lord, I wish it was morning. Hope everything is well. Like I said, we went through the mild steel of the brake rotor, and it turns out that stuff was going to work out phenomenal. I did some extra grinding after yesterday's live. We got this thing pulled down to a good Cuda blade. It is most definitely sharp enough. Heck with it, I'll show you. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. Yes, it is. It is most definitely sharp enough. So that turned out really well. What's up, Dragon? That is sharp enough for right now for the rough grind. We ain't even hit the stones yet. That's just straight off the grinder, and it's already slicing paper pretty nice. So we should be in good shape to get us a good kind of edge. And to be honest, I'm responding a little bit today with a couple of items of feedback. Hey, Chucker, what's up, brother? Glad you was able to come in and see me, man. Hope you're enjoying it out there, man. Couple of items of feedback that I got. They did talk to me about using the Luan. Who's my idol? I am my idol. Me tomorrow is my idol. The only person I need to be better than is me tomorrow. As long as I can pull that off, I am in good shape. And at the end of the day, that's really the only person you got to compete with, right? The you from yesterday, the you from today, and the you from tomorrow. But there were people that mentioned the Luan because not everybody's got Chinese mahogany laying around. That's valid. Yes. Okay, sounds great. That's absolutely a valid concern. I may double back and make the body out of it. I'm just plain 2x4, just so that we're cool. Hey, Dad's Workshop is in the house. If you guys ain't subscribed to Calvin, please do so. Send your thoughts out to make sure Caleb has a nice, safe trip out in the woods. Doesn't run into the bear. So that was the first thing. Is somebody said, well, not everybody has Chinese hardwood. That's fair. So we'll do it out of 2x4. The other thing that everybody mentioned is they may or may not have chisels. Now, some people, their chiseling skills aren't that hot. I get that. Maybe I'll do a whole seminar on just how to be great at chiseling or what have you. Not that I'm the best at it, but I'm good enough to get things done. So we'll cheat. And let me find a method of drawing an illustration, and I'll show you exactly how we're going to cheat. In the meantime and in between time, hope y'all are good. Yes, you can have them. Love you. I also love you too. Well, had cigarette hanging in my mouth. God, here comes the troll. Smoking's bad for you. So here's what we're going to do. Welcome back to the bench. Welcome back to my belly. Matthew Gauthier, good to see you. So normally, the kind of plane is a narrow rectangular piece that will look something akin to this. And it'll have a recess here for the plane blade to stick out. Then it will indent in, and that's where our chips will come out. That's what it normally looks like. But there's a valid point in saying that some people just plain can't do this chisel work. It's too complex. So we're just going to break it down. We're going to break it down into 4 pieces that we'll assemble back together later. I have not forgot about you, Dan. As soon as my live is up, I will get a hold of you, man. Let's kick up a StreamYard, and I got you covered, man. Inside here needs to be a V-shaped taper with particular angles where we'll enter a pin and a wedge, but that's later on after the fact. And it winds up at an itty-bitty slot down here at the bottom. So my plan is, rather than doing that, let's just cut this piece, simple enough. Cut this piece separate, simple enough. Set them in position, and we'll stitch the sides on it after the fact. So that actually, technically, it'll be in 4 pieces. So we'll actually just cut another piece, cover up this side, flip it over, cover the other side, and we'll end up with the same configuration, but 20 times easier. How's that sound? A lot easier to do, I imagine. Other than that, I kind of got a couple of choices for what we can do. So we'll call Wednesday the Choose Your Own Adventure Day. You guys could enjoy a bit more of me ASMRing to get that plane blade in good shape like I want it to be. Nice, polished, smooth surfaces and all that jazz. Or I got this chunk of Luan off the end of that table leg. We could just try to carve something out of this, because why the hell not? I mean, that's a pretty unique profile with them tapers coming up like this. And maybe, I don't know, make something cool. What would you guys rather see me do? Caleb, you wouldn't believe it. This guy right here came out of, it's a chunk of a brake rotor. That I literally chopped apart. But it's coming out real nice. So, choose your own adventure time. Put it in the chat, A or B. You want to see me work on the blade, or you want to see me whittle something out of my weird geodesic piece of the tapered table leg there? What do you think would be more fun to do? Or we could just sit around and shoot the breeze. I don't care. Whatever's clever. At the end of the day, this is y'all's channel. We got one for the blade. We got one for whittling. We got two for the blade. Caleb's just having a damn ball, isn't he? It's like that Billy Bob Thornton commercial is. You wouldn't guess where the hell I am. Welcome, Grizzly. Welcome to the channel. This is your first time here. My name is Mike, and I make stuff. And usually I make stuff out of things that other people deem no good. I try to cheat self-sufficiency, innovation, and repurposing of common crap that people usually throw out. If that sounds like it's your cup of tea, then I humbly invite you to subscribe. I invite you to become a member of the channel. I believe I've made it quite affordable. Hello, June. Good to see you. And for the members, I will be making things and doing giveaways. The most recent will be Spirit in the Y. That's our wood mallet that we made out of repurposed items. Hey, Mike from Dance Homestead. Good to see you. All right, Caleb, you take care and be safe, buddy. I like to think Spirit in the Y is a pretty cool little hammer. Not everybody's got a face sticking out the side of their hammer. I will be giving that away to a member once I've reached my 100 member threshold. If that's something that's your cup of tea. So I guess the blade has won the vote. Hello, Lions. Greetings from the UK. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you can make it to come see me. Shout out to Lions Fix Shop and all of my wonderful subscribers over in the United Kingdom, Scotland, Ireland, France, and Australia. Well, I'm becoming Mr. Worldwide, ain't I? Well, that blade that you see in front of you is for a Japanese pull plane. I can make another blade. We can do that too if you guys want to do that. You tell me. Again, this is all your channel. As Wes said the other day on his stream, somebody was telling him, y'all are the ones porking this chicken. I'm just holding it. Where will I put the chipper blade? It will actually go down into a Japanese pull plane. What's the blade made of? Piece of that brake rotor. Which actually turned out to be high carbon mild steel rather than cast iron. Which, if you're an old fogey like me, the older brake rotors used to be made of cast iron, but now apparently they stamp them out of mild steel, which worked out for me for a benefit. This gave me some really thick, durable stuff, and it's something called case hardened, which means that the way that this brake rotor works is that it's turning on the inside of your wheel along with it, and there's a pair of brake pads that will squeeze, and they'll hold on to this and grab it, so that's what stops your vehicle. So you can imagine there's been several thousand times that this has generated a lot of heat, and it's ended up case hardening the outside of it. There is no chipper in a Japanese pull plane. There is a wedge that holds it in place, which does sort of serve like a chip breaker. But because the shavings of a Sashimono Kana plane aren't that aggressive, it's rarely needed that you need a chip breaker because the shavings that are come off are really wispy. They're super thin. All right, we've reached the consensus. Let's set us up a waterproof, slip-resistant mat. You know where I got this from? This is the belt from a treadmill. Works out phenomenal. Runic, good to see you. Another good friend of the channel. So let's get started on refining our plane blade. And then again, I think taking that 4-piece approach is a much more accessible way for new woodworkers to be able to build the plane if they wanted to follow along. Also, if you missed the very beginning of the stream, there were some reservations about me using the Japanese mahogany or the Chinese mahogany because not everybody's going to have access to that. So we'll make it out of a 2x4 or something, and it'll still work just as fine. Will it last 50 years? No, it'll probably last about 10, but good enough. As all of us used to say in the Army, close enough for government work. Okay. First things first, we'll bring out our course of stone. Brought to you by the good, wonderful folks at Humple. An amazing and very reputable company, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and dress our stone. the reason that we're dressing the stone is that we want this to stay as flat as we want the things we sharpen to stay. And if you take note, you can see that we wore a bit of a divot right there. So we're going to take this guy down so we ensure we're nice and flat. Much better. If you need the link to these sharpening stones, I believe Calvin at Dad's Workshop has the same set. I do have an Amazon link. Don't worry, it's not an affiliate link. I ain't trying to make money off you. It just happened to be, in my humble opinion, a very good value for the money. You get 4 different stones with it from 400. I am refining a plane blade today. You get a 400, you get an 800, you get a 400, a 1000, a 3000, and an 8000 stone. You get the rubber set to hold it in place. You get a dressing stone. And I believe it comes with a sharpening jig, but I tossed that son of a bitch as soon as it showed up. It didn't seem like it was very good. It was a little hinky. All right, so let's start with the easiest part. We're just going to work on this back surface if I can avoid slicing my hand again. We'll get this thing dressed out till at least the satin shine. And I bet you $1 you'll be able to see just what it's like to be out here in the desert. You can see that I've spilled a little water out here. Mark the time and tell me just how quickly that stuff ends up evaporating, because it'll be gone pretty quick. You can still see me, or have I lost you guys? Nope, I still got you. Everybody's still saying hi to everybody. Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you for the feedback. The other benefit that I have from being out here in this arid climate is that quite literally most metals that I have, with the exception of very, very extended exposure to moisture or the elements, very rarely do I have to worry about things like rust on my tools. That's just a non-issue for me. And the reason is because it is so arid here that water doesn't seem to have time to collect on anything in any measure long enough to start oxidizing the steel that it's laying on. Thank you so much for that, Dan. I promise you, as soon as I'm done, brother, I'm all yours. Okay, I'm starting to get a little bit of a slurry mixed with steel filings. I'm going to give this a little bit of a dunk. Mike might be getting a Venmo for that plane. Oh my. So when should we use a Japanese pull plane? That is an incredible answer, or an incredible question. And it's one that could potentially offend some people when I say what I'm about to say. Some people are hyper focused on incredible precision. Some people are incredibly focused on being efficient, meaning get it done as quick as humanly possible at the expense of some of the accuracy. The thing that I was talking about yesterday that's a major difference between Eastern and Western tools that lends to a bit more easy precision for them in the Eastern regions, in Asia particularly, is that their tools engage on the pull stroke rather than on the push stroke. And I had to grab a couple of things so I could show you what's going on. This is a back saw. Yes, it's a warranted Superior. I think it's a Diston. It is a Diston, but that's not even important. This is indicative of your typical Western style saw. If you have a saw in front of you, you'll notice that the teeth have an angle and they're upright so that the teeth are going this way. Angle up, angle up. And that's because the cutting happens when you push it. Now, it's funny that I grabbed this back saw because they tried to defeat the major flaw in a push stroke saw by putting those backings on them, those ribbings that you see. They're added to the saw to prevent it from committing the biggest crime that it ever commits, which I'll show you with this piece of paper that I did yesterday. The problem is as you're pushing through, if your saw ever binds up, did you see what my paper did? It bends, it flexes. And as it does so, it's raking off the sides of the kerf that the blade is going in. So it ends up making that cut a little wider and wider and wider as it moves on. It's also more exerting, more physically demanding to cut with a push style saw. Dad's Workshop's got the short answer. I'll continue on with my long-winded version. This is a cheap, hazard-fraught version of a Japanese Ryoba. Now, the Ryoba is their all-in-one pole saw, which I already love the fact that they were efficient enough to put a rip saw on one side and a crosscut saw on the other side. That's already brilliant enough. But these teeth angle the other direction, which means that it cuts when I pull it. Because I can pull it and it's cutting on this pull stroke, the harder I pull it, the straighter it becomes. It also lets me exert leverage that I may not have if I'm not a big, stocky, physically exertive kind of person. Yes, you can still bind up on the pull side. If you're going hard into the backside, you can still do this number. Yeah, absolutely. but it also lets me utilize the rest of my body because this allows me to engage my core and my legs a lot more than going the other way. Voy a hacer mi comentario de todos los días, que vean. So you're putting a comment in everybody's lives. Okay, appreciate it. The point is, they ended up innovating most of their tools to work on the pull stroke, whereas Western ended up going on the push stroke. So to circle back to Dan's workshop's answer, anytime you can use a push style, you can use a pull style. No, it's not just with saws. Actually, that's what we're discussing, is that this Kana hand plane is actually a pull style hand plane. When it's done, the blade will be facing like so, and I'll be pulling against the wood rather than pushing. So saws and planes, most cutting tools, you'll find are on the pull rather than on a push. Nikki New, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm already starting to dry out my stone. Jeez. Let's get back to the ASMR, huh? How about that? You guys got me all distracted. And Bad Dragon, I believe, is the one that said it. Yes, it is absolutely true that the slurry is really doing a good job with helping us polish this thing. As you can see, we got a bit of a hollow in the center, but I don't think that'll be too particularly bothersome. But we can keep on going with it. Now, as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and start with this primary bevel and get it straight. Hola, mamacita, ¿qué está haciendo, bonita? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Quiere comer? No, I'm kidding. Vámonos conmigo. Yes, this is certainly not Japanese steel. This is certainly not Asian steel, which they do love to layer. They do love to do a bit of a variation of Damascus that offers it a bit of flexibility as well as sharpness because you're sharpening individual razor size layers. This is just one honking chunk of metal. Can I see a close-up of that? Sure. Slow and steady wins the race here. And full disclosure, I've already done the back, so you can see. Jack Stats, good to see you. The back is already on a flat plane. I've already done that pretty well. We're just working on the other two bevels. Now, for those of you that don't have a plane or a sharpening guide, or you'd like to try learning how to do it without one, premise is pretty simple. I know I have 3 bevels, and if you watch, with the varying pressure that I apply, I can register against each one of them. There's one, there's the next, and there's our third. So what I'm doing is I'm registering to that primary bevel just by applying some pressure until it gets flat. Then I'm riding that back and forth. I'm also trying to use as much of my stone as possible so that I don't create those wear spots that I was referring to earlier when I had to dress the stone. Lock up shop and head home. Glad for you to come in, Norm. Appreciate you coming to see me, friend. Definitely got a good slurry going. I've been on the live now 49 minutes. I pulled this out about a half hour into it. You see how much of that water's already dried and gone? My stone is already starting to dry up too. Ruin it, that sounds phenomenal. I think that once I've got the secondary bevel done, I may try to matte gas case harden just this cutting edge. But if that's not successful, absolutely, we'll tap into Ruin It and make this a collab. Well, that's because the first time you actually said something, plywood, don't start. Introduce you to a West Texas term. Last time I checked, it ain't my day to keep up with you. Another dip in the water to get this clean. We are most certainly getting a little closer. César, hola. Bienvenidos. ¿Cómo estás? Yeah, don't worry about it, Dan. I had to come just give him help. That's all it was. For those of you that were looking for high productivity today, I guess the secret is out. It is not the day for that. Yep, that's starting to turn more into mud. There we go. Oh, yeah, we're gliding now. That's nice. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm keeping pressure right on top of that bevel that I'm looking to surface out so that I keep it registered against the stone and allows me to plane it down into a flat edge. Yep, we're getting much closer. That's looking pretty snazzy at this point. I do believe it is, in fact, 5 o'clock somewhere. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to get myself a little left-handed coffee. Everybody feel free to get yourself a little bit. Wash the sawdust out of my cup. Y necesito un poquito de hielo. We'll leave a little bit of sawdust in there for the vitamins and the fiber. Who says I don't eat right? Poor Dan. He has been trying to edit, and that thing's been kicking his ass. Everyone, feel free to pour yourself a drink. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the soothing sounds of Mike scraping metal against stone. Salud. Mm. Cheers, fellas. I'm going to wash off my stoner hair. Get just a bit of that slurry dust off, not all of it. So we can make another go at this. Remember, there we are. Registered to my bevel nice and easy. And that's easier to do on this big honking piece of metal that I'm running right now because it's super thick. And this bevel's really big, so it's got a lot of surface area to register against. But my chair is just a log. Yes, it is. Even when you're rocking your primary and secondary bevels on your conventional planes and even your transitional planes, the same premise applies. You can still apply that pressure. Here, I can show you with a standard chisel. Of course, I have a primary bevel right there, so I can always just depress with a little bit of pressure, and I can register right against that bevel edge every single time. So for those of you who don't have a sharpening guide, you may feel just a little bit better telling yourself, you know what, maybe I don't need one. Maybe that's a crutch they give to newbies. I'm a little more advanced than that. I don't need all that mess. I am a man of the Norse. Yes, yes, yes. That Viking thing is definitely Viking. Prost! Skål! Salud! I think it's funny how many people are like, don't realize they think that, hey, doodles, I think the German is so similar to the rest of the languages you see in Europe, but it's really not. Ask somebody in English what the boo-boo bus is that takes you to the hospital, they say an ambulance. You ask somebody in Spanish, ambulancia. You ask somebody in French, ambulance. Ask somebody in German, Krankenwagen. The hell? Where is that even similar? Ask somebody in English about the feeling that you get for a potential partner, and they say romance. Ask a Frenchman, romance. Ask somebody in Spanish, romancia. Ask somebody in German, Gesellschaft. They are not the same. Am I wrong though? Ask them about a mechanical contrivance that flies through the air. Somebody in English says airplane. Somebody in Spanish says aeroplan. Somebody in French says the same thing, aeroplan. What the hell does the German say? Flugzeug! Butterfly. 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 Schmetterling. What the hell? So I kind of scoff when somebody tells me that German is similar to the rest of the languages in Europe. I'm like, you clearly hadn't listened to them very much, have you? Hell, I talked about the ambulance. They do the same thing with that. Ask somebody in English, hospital. Spanish, hospital. French, hospital. German, Krankenhaus. Thank you, Gautier. Hospital. And in redneck, I would say that sure as hell ain't Krankenhaus. Now I'm starting to get chatter, which means that my slurry is getting a little thick. It might be time to move at least on this bevel to a higher grit. Oh, you're from Quebec. Well, we won't hold it against you, Gautier. We're fine. What do you mean they won't let you post Russian? That's kind of racist. Amy Joe, good to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't signed up for Amy Joe, that's another one I'm telling you you're missing out on. Small wood lot, there's another one. Damn, all the heavy hitters are in here right now. And I'm here for it. I love it. Plywood, I said it's racist that they can't post in Russian. It's kind of messed up. Oh, I want to do that, but that'd be breaking the cardinal rule of keeping my plain stones good. Ooh! I'll tell you what, though. That sucker's about ready to cut ties with your ex. That thing is definitely feeling it. We are making a mess right now. But right now, I'm going to check the status of this plane blade. And that's cardstock. I think I got it just about sharp enough. Am I ever going to finish the damn thing? I might finish the damn thing next week. I might finish it next month. Say we say it down here in this neck of the woods. I'll do it when I'm damn well done with it. I'm going to milk this sumbitch till the titties are dry. Now I'm just getting the back of it to matching the honing that I did on the front. I broke a piece off one of my flags, so I put myself in timeout for the rest of the day. Oh, hell. Yes, sir. Ooh, yeah. I'm just putting some shiny edges on this sucker for the heck of it, because it is just about as sharp as I need it. Underneath it's just sopping with water, but look how fast all the rest of that just dried out. Calm down, you're going to have a heart attack. Well, you know what's my heart? I want to have an attack with it, I will. Salute. Round the corner so they don't dig. It's probably a good idea. Hey, go up there. Don't talk them out of a damn super chat now. Listen, I do everything I can to make sure that this channel gets by. And I don't talk about it, but all of you that make content, you understand it. It takes money. It takes a bit to get this done. But if you decide to give me a super chat, it damn sure be a blessing. If you feel it within you. In the arms of the angel, far away. Yeah. All that kind of crap. For just 60 cents a day, you can help a ignorant West Texas Mexican put together YouTube videos to teach you stuff. Give me food, clothing, and a chance to go to school. I think if I go any further on this, I'm just going to be sitting there all day fighting all this. That sucker is sharp. I mean, yeah, hell, it's taking hairs off my arm like I ain't even there. I don't know if you can hear that. That's raking through the ridges on my thumbnail, on my thumbprint. That sucker is sharp. So we'll set that to the side for the time being. Unless you guys want me to keep going. You want me to keep going on the blade, or you want me to get on the body? Choose your own adventure time. You want me to keep on growing, I'll keep on going. It don't bother me. It's all got to be done at the end of the day. Carrie says she wants to see the body. I do need to swap out. Holy hell! Wait a damn minute. Oh my God. Guys, throw all the beautiful emojis in the chat. Throw all the emojis in there for Triple J. Wow. I, I can't even damn get it. I mean, guess who my ass? J. Jonah Jameson? I gotta walk around. Holy shit. God damn. Mike! Thank you. Thank you so damn much. Dan, I will look. Leave your email in the damn chat so I can get a hold of you after I get done with all this, because I'm still gonna get your ass set up. God damn, Mike, you don't know what the hell that does. That literally put me over the damn threshold, so I'll get the minimum and I'll be able to get another check out of YouTube in September. The Shed Woodshed by Dan V at Gmail. Is that V in there or is that a typo? Either way, we'll work it out. Hell, I'll email them both if I got to. Okay. You got it, Dan. You got it. All right. Damn it! Ah! hot. Damn. I'm glad my wife ain't here. I was gonna go out there and tell her. Holy hell. Shit the bed. You ain't kidding, shit the bed. God damn almighty. All right. We're pouring another one just for Mike. Holy hell. Look, I don't air my business out here, but you don't understand. The reason I don't live during the day, and usually you guys will see me in there, I'm just leaving comments because I'm 12 hours a damn day trying to keep this shit going. If you can still hear me, I'll just say this, Mike. It's just money to some. For others, it changes shit. Damn it. Whatever you're doing, I don't care if you get a damn glass of Kool-Aid, every one of you right now. Give me some kind of emoji. Give me something in the chat to let me know that we are all toasting our man, Michael Wayne. Thank you so much. More than you even know. This is Woodford Reserve that I got for my last birthday. And I'm looking to knock it off before I most likely get another one for my birthday. God almighty. Let me change this damn water out. I'm not leaving nobody hanging. Can you hear me still? Get some fresh water in the stones. We'll pack them up and we'll get to work on the body. And the feedback was heard. I know that not everybody's just able to go get Chinese hardwood. You son of a bitch. I walk back out here and there's a damn another one. Damn, Mike, I'm gonna be fucking Cuda brown by the time it's over with, damn it. Salud. Which, by the way, let's just take a second before we get into the plain body while I put away these stones to regale you with a little bit of history. Those of you who aren't from the South, or even some of you that are, may have heard Jacob Jones. Damn it. I know who that is, damn it. Now he's just running around different accounts doing shit. All right. I'm going to put these damn stones away while I tell y'all a little bit about a term that some of you may have heard referring to somebody saying that somebody is drunker than Cuda Brown. Cuda Brown lived mere feet away from the Mason-Dixon line during the Civil War. And everybody knew him, of course, by Cuda Brown. And when it came around that the press gangs, I don't know if you know what a press gang is, the recruiters came waddling their asses around trying to recruit people for the war effort of the Civil War. The Union sent people, the Confederacy sent people, everybody raising hell, wanting Cuda Brown to enlist because he was right on the line and he was a pretty damn good shot. So they decided that having Cuda Brown in their ranks would be great, but he didn't want to be part of it. He didn't want to have nothing to do with it because he had kin on both sides of the war. He didn't want anything to do with the Union cause, the Confederate cause. He didn't want shit to do with it. Just leave him out of it. And so he found out that, well, and I'll use the Civil War terms, so forgive me. The ones that the recruiters would never come get were the invalids, the mentally retarded, and the drunkards. That was the words that they used back then. Don't crucify me for saying that. That's what they listed as their criteria. And he heard about that and he went, drunkards? So if I just stay shit-faced the whole war, that won't make me fight. And that is exactly what he did. He stayed shit-faced the whole Civil War. So that they would never recruit him and he never had to pick a side. So, silly as shit. Maybe that's interesting to y'all, but that's the story of how the phrase drunkard and Cuda Brown came to be. You ain't lying. You are not lying. I'm going to keep on dragging on this left-handed calling. Now, Kevin Ellis wouldn't lie. He's got a Bible verse in his vein, so come on now. That's very true, Woodlot. There's a lot of people that figured out that if you were a drunkard, they wouldn't recruit you. They wouldn't draft you. So yeah, they ended up just staying drunk the whole damn war because it kept them out of it. Thank you, Gretchen. Appreciate it. Maybe you guys can't do what Michael Wayne did. God bless him for doing it in the most platonic, HR appropriate way in the world. I love you to death for doing that. But maybe you can't do that, guys. You know what you could do? There's a local guy that's doing this merch stuff for me, selling hats and posters and pencils and keychains and shit. I'm not making any money off it. I'm hoping to help him and his wife Amanda and their kids. They're doing this little printing business out of the house. So if you go to blacktreeengraving.etsy.com, I'm gonna try like hell to write it backwards. Hold on, so y'all can read the damn thing. Dot. You know how damn hard it is to write backwards? There we go. Here's where you can find the merch. blacktreeengraving.etsy.com. Shit, let me go see if I can find the number. I don't see the damn number. I think it's hiding it. It's all right. Mike.is.making.stuff@gmail. You can email me, Mike, and I'll email you back. Or I don't give a damn. Give me a second and I'll. Well, my phone is I'm using it for the damn camera. I had to leave a track record already in place for being 4 after in the draft. Look at that. I just saw it up on the damn screen. I did write it back. I did it. Shit, yeah. All right. Well, I got about 5 more drinks to catch up with what the hell Michael Wayne did. And then we get started on plain body. Right here, I illustrated that the conoplane has usually got an indent that you usually chisel out right here, but we're going to cheat. We're going to cut 2 pieces with the angles that we need, and we're going to cut 2 side strips that will all attach together. We'll glue it all together, and that'll make it happen. That'll make it a lot more approachable for some folks that really don't feel that good about being able to get anything together or try to do that kind of chisel work. They also said that they're not going to find any of that Chinese mahogany that I was going to use. But you know what I got plenty of? I got plenty of 2x4. Robert G! Good to see you, friend. I am making a two-handed plane, actually. It is a Japanese plane called the Kana. Kanna. 2 seconds and I'll. We'll straighten up this damn table saw. And then we'll cut some 2x lumber. It's going phenomenal, friend. It has been a day of days in ways that I didn't even imagine. I'm sure you can see it all down across the bottom. That was an unexpected blessing. I'd make a plane, but my luck would crash. Oh, this one's definitely going to crash. This one's going to Led Zeppelin in a damn minute. But it'll be fun to do. I'm trying to fast forward this damn television because I'm looking at myself like 10 minutes ago. Yep, there we go. Am I back? Can you hear me? Am I okay? Let's find a chuck of 2x4 and we'll get ready to make ourselves the plane that we're after. I am back. Yes, I am, Doodles. I've been farting around in the shop, but I am here. I bet that looks a hair more approachable. You're standing running the mill 2x4. Shout out to 731 Woodworks. Okay, Mike, I'll look at it as soon as I get done. We'll what we're going to do is normally this hand plane would have a chiseled out section that looks very similar to this. I'm going to try my damnedest to draw this out, and then I'll zoom you in so you can see a little better. Okay, so it'll look something like this. And this back part will be at an angle, like so. And because it's walled out wider at the top, that's where this guy will slide into it like this and embed itself. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to cheat. We're going to cut this off, cut the sides off, and then we'll cut the 2 angles that we're supposed to chisel out. We'll cut those with some saws, because that'd be a hell of a lot easier to get done. A lot easier for one of you guys to take care of if that's what you want to do. And then we'll glue it all back together, and it'll turn into the kind of plane that we're after. So let me go ahead and make these cuts on the table saw. I'll be right back over here with you. I hate to be asking anyone for anything, but if you would, at the very least, if you do nothing else, even if you're just driving through, it's one of them drive-by joints and you're just taking a look, hit the like button on your way by. I promise you I wouldn't be mad at you one bit. Nobody will cuss you once. Okay, so all we did was cut the rounded off corners off of our 2x4. So we took these sides off. We'll reattach those later, so we'll hold on to them. Now we can set this to the same width as our plane blade, which damn if it ain't already there. We're already set. So all we have to do now is cut the 2 angles that we'll need for this to stay in place and for our chips to come out of the top when we get done cutting it. And I'm going to make that probably a 45-degree angle. I think that's probably the best thing to do. Oh, Liz is making these me for a second. I'll be right back, folks. Sorry about that, y'all. All right. So I'm going to make this a good 45 angle like this. So this blade will sit just like so. And just barely protrude out the bottom. And from there, then we'll make another angle here. And that'll let us be able to have our hole for the chips to come out. So I'm going to go cut this at the miter saw real quick. Y'all hang in there. They are looking at each other a little bit. I ain't got no damn big ass googly eyes. But I'll figure it out. Shit, if that's what we're doing, we'll put googly eyes on the fucking log. The day is beautiful. Let's get it. Is that good? Are we cool now? You got big old googly eyes looking at you? Shit, yes. Let's go. We'll figure out how they'll take that off later. Hashtag tomorrow me problem. All right. So now we made a 45-degree cut like so. All we're going to do is flip that sucker around just like so. Glue all these some bitches back together. Welcome back to the bench. Welcome back to my belly. We'll jam all these suckers together like so. Y'all catching what I'm throwing at you now? Hot damn, look at that. We just about got the sucker nailed right there. And then our plane blade will go in there just like this. Swoop. And we'll be a hand planing. See what I mean? You like it? Don't make me hit you with the foghorn leghorn. Pay attention to me, boy, while I'm talking to you. Glue and dowel it together. I guess I could. And I'd be willing to bet that that's probably going to be cooler than the other side of the pillow doing that like that. And we'll have us a damn hand plane. So let's get to gluing. Added that. You thought I was going to do it, didn't you? You thought I was going to do it, didn't you? Added that what? Added that what? Anyway, as I was saying a little bit ago, if you're not of the persuasion or the capacity to be a generous benefactor to the degree that our friend Michael Wayne decided to be today, there are still other ways you can certainly help the channel. The big one will be memberships. And for your membership, it will not get you just bragging rights or a star next to your name, as Dad's Workshop happens to be flexing at the moment. A couple of lives ago, I ended up doing a mallet. It started out with me doing some hand carving, and it ended up becoming an animal of its own that turned out to be pretty damn phenomenal. So Mike D from the Whacking Shack suggested that it would make a really good handle for a mallet. And once he did that, Spirit and the Y was born. Let me get this glued together and then I'll keep flapping my jaws. And if for the whole three of you that are following along, doing the same thing, don't worry about this being uneven or whatever, because we can engage with planes and sanders and the like and make this sucker turn out just fine, looking as if it's a single piece of wood. We'll do that after the fact once it dries. And I will be going off right about then because I'm coming to your house. So is everybody in here. If I have my druthers about it. I can't see what time it is locally. I'm sure it's like 5 something. I actually have. Taking a look at it right here, and I've left myself 1/8 of an inch straight across there. Which I'll be able to refine with files later if I'm off. But here's Spirit and the Y. The hand carved wood spirit into the handle of a mallet. I'll be giving this away to one of my members. And depending on how well this conoplane comes out, I'll be giving one away too. All you got to do is click that member button and join the family. If you do win it, Calvin, I certainly hope you do use it. If it was here, listen, this place is too boogered up for something that nice. I've said it 1,000 times. I'd much rather it go somewhere where it got some love, it's taken care of, and it didn't end up in a boogery shop like mine. And on that note, I think we've got some progress. We've got our conoplane put together. We got our blade sharpened, tempered, and honed. We ain't tempered it yet. But we're that much closer to having our plane. So all of you, somebody please, before we adjourn, go link Dan's Homestead's channel, and let's all go over there, show him a little love and support. Make sure we take care of him, will you? Let's go talk to him. Can somebody link his channel for me? Because I bet you $1 I'm probably going to be over there having drinks and celebrating him as long as I can. He's about to be in about 10 or 15 minutes. Mr. Stanifer, thank you. Please, let's go show him some love. If you can't find it because of the hyperlink, the name of his channel is Dan's Homestead. Dan's Homestead. Small woodlot, I actually got a map gas that I'll probably hit it with, but that'll be on the next time. Let's go over there and go say him. Let's go say hi to him and take care of the family. Thank all of you guys for doing it. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Love every one of y'all, man. I'll see you over there, Dan.